All right. Live. And it looks like we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Smart Tank. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. Turn that on. Cool. We are good. And awesome. Well, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here again on the Smart Tank. And I have some special guests with us today. We have Team SPI. Some of Team SPI is here to hang out with us today. And we're very, very stoked to celebrate this fun moment with all of you together. So we're going to go around the horn a little bit, just really quick, to have each of the members that are here from Team SPI to introduce themselves. Why don't we start with Matt, who you'll hear in just a moment why he probably won't be talking as much. He just completed an amazing workshop for us about pricing and profits recently. And as a result, his voice is a little bit hoarse, but I wanted him to share a little bit about what he does for us in case you've never met Matt before. Matt.
Thanks, buddy. And yeah, my voice is in a rough spot. Very excited to be here. Very excited for the inaugural Smart Tank. This is huge. I'm Pat's business partner, co-CEO. I lead the business side for us. Was one of the chief architects of SPI Pro, the community. Proud to say that a lot of this stuff has been in the works for over a year now. So just thrilled to be here and see this special event come to fruition.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Mindy, let's go with you. How are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm Mindy. I'm the solutions manager. So what I do with SPI is sort of hook all of the technical things together. So make sure that like, if you sign up for an email offer, that you receive that offer, and then we keep track of the fact that you have it, so we don't try to tell you to get it again, things like that. And so for SPI Pro, it's a lot of the sort of behind the scenes setup stuff. Specifically for this, it was putting together the voting ballot. So all the sort of technical stuff.
Awesome.
Automations.
Oh, automations. Yeah, super fun. Then we have Jillian. Why don't you introduce yourself and what you do?
Sure. Hey, pros. I got a shout out to the pros. I'm the community manager, community experience manager for SPI Pro. So I was brought in to help with this amazing community and connect people and have a lot of fun. I've told a few people in the community on calls recently, I have the dream job. I love it. So I am here. I've been helping in, this is definitely Pat's baby. Been helping in the background to make sure we could get this whole thing going. It's my first challenge. It's amazing. I'm so excited for everybody right now and just loved everyone's videos. So hi.
Thank you, Jillian. And thank you to everybody who's here watching live with us, or if you're watching the replay, thank you for spending time with us. This will go for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to share the top results based on voting within SPI Pro. SPI Pro is our private community within SPI to help those who have businesses come together, network with each other, get the right advice they need, and support each other, and get the information they need to succeed. And this month, because every month we have what's called a COTM, a challenge of the month. And this month's challenge, we wanted it to be a little bit scary, a little bit spooky to fit with the Halloween theme. And the idea was to create a 60-second pitch video. And that 60-second video was going to be something that you would share within the community to express your business idea and what it is that you can do to help others. We did a little bit of teaching in there about how to structure one of these videos in terms of either starting with a story or a problem or a pain or something like that, and then introducing your solution within a call to action at the end. Obviously, there's a lot of room for creativity within there. But we had some other rules as well. We didn't want people to go crazy with B-roll or text on the screen, because obviously some people just don't know how to do that. And we didn't want that to weigh on people's decision in terms of, well, what is a good pitch? And so everybody here who you're going to see, we have, in fact, 7 videos to share. We have 5 top places, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that was selected from within the community. And then we have 2 honorable mentions as well, because we just couldn't help ourselves when watching these videos. There were so many good ones, right? Like, I don't know about you, Matt and Jillian and Mindy, but when I was going through those videos, this was hard, honestly. I was like, you can't pick like the best ones, because everybody here who participated is a winner. this is not an easy thing to do. You step out of your comfort zone. I know I had some favorites that weren't voted at the top, and this was, again, a community vote. But yeah, it was just, first of all, well done to all of the participants. You all did excellent. And that's really great. So appreciate that. And let me see if I can unpin this message for you, because mobile.
The fun thing, I'd say the fun thing about it, I think for us, I know Jillian mentioned that like in going through and watching them all, you start thinking like, I need to sign up for all of these different newsletters and ebooks and stuff like that.
I've got at least 10 that I'm like, I'm gonna circle back on this.
I sent a podcast to my husband and said, you need to listen to this. I sent over another link to a friend and said, like, I think you would be interested in this business. Yeah, it was really fun.
And that's the power with these videos. These videos are meant to structure what you do to help others get interested in it, right? Just like how many got interested in a lot of the submissions here. So again, these submissions came from within SPI Pro. We'll talk about a little bit about that at the end. But for right now, we are going to start with our 5th place winner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that video, and we're going to just watch it. It's going to be about 60 seconds. And then we're going to come back together and we're going to talk about it for a little bit. And then you'll know who the winner is once you see it, obviously. So I'm not going to mention the winner until we watch the video. So if you're all ready, SPI Pro, you ready? Team Flynn, you ready? Let's go. So here is our 5th place winner out of dozens, like literally dozens and dozens of
48.
48 total, which is a lot. And so let's congratulate our 5th place winner. Here they are.
When I met Shahan, he was in his late 20s, legally blind, jobless, bored, and worried about being a financial drain on his family. But when I asked him how he was monetizing his 1,000 visitor a month blog, he said, I didn't know you could do that. So I showed him how. I'm Trudy Rankin, and I help people start their own online business. Now, the people we work with often struggle with 3 very specific things. They're terrified they won't be able to learn how to use unfamiliar technology. They have a secret fear that no one will buy from them. And they're petrified that their efforts are going to end in failure. So we help them grow their confidence as they build a website in a simple funnel. We show them how to turn their customers into raving fans who want to buy from them. And we give them the skills they need to build a really solid, sustainable business. It's not the easiest work in the world, but every day I think about my little grandson whose beautiful eyes are blind. And someday he's going to want to support himself just like Shahan. So come join us. We'd love you to start your own online business.
All right, Trudy.
I love it.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Place winner. Love the chat. Already celebrating with Trudy. One thing that I absolutely loved, I mean, I'm going to get pretty technical because I'm looking at these and I want to teach everybody who's here as well. Whether you were able to submit or not, whether you were able to vote or not, I still want you to get value out of here. My favorite thing about Trudy's message was, I mean, there were so many favorite things, from getting very personal with it. But I loved in the middle, she said there are 3 common objections that people have. And she listed them all one by one. And immediately, I mean, that's so important in a pitch, especially because you can capture people for the one objection of the 3 that they could sort of tie themselves to and get connected with and relate to. And it's like, wow, you know exactly what I'm going through, especially if you nail all 3. And this is why I always recommend you've got to know exactly what's going on in your customer's head. You have to know what they're struggling with, because then when you can address that, oftentimes if you can describe that problem better than they can, they're going to automatically assume you have the solution. So that's one thing that stood out to me about Trudy. I don't know what else. What do you guys think, Team SPI?
I would say, well, I really love Trudy's business. It's a big part personally of why I feel like online business is so powerful, because it is a great leveler for folks who are otherwise excluded from sort of the traditional job market for whatever reason. And so it's a big part of why I'm happy about the work that we do. And so it's really, to me, I'm just really excited to hear about her work and to see the way she's serving this market. And like you said, she so clearly understands who she's serving. And she says, yes, it's hard and scary, but we can do it together.
Right.
I really like that.
Exactly. Nurse Leader Network here says her mission is so important. And that's really key. And I think you have to share what your mission is as well, and why it's beyond just like, let me help you as an individual, but why I'm here to help everybody who's in a similar spot as you. Jillian, was there anything in particular that stood out from Trudy's?
Yes, there was. I mean, everything everyone just said, as well as I really loved just her storytelling. So it was a very refreshing, and she wasn't, there was a few people that did it this way, and I loved all of them, because instead of just going right in, it was a story about someone and that conversation she had with a client and how she was able to help them. Like, she very, very clearly in an entertaining way kind of got her message across. So I am always a fan for good storytelling. So well done, Trudy. I also just want to make sure, can I say her business name? Can we? Oh, yeah. I have everyone's ready if we can. Okay, so I just want to make sure for everyone watching, if you want to go check Trudy out, her website is onlinebusinessliftoff.com.
Cool. Jillian, I'll have you mention that at the end of each of these.
Okay,
so
great.
We can do that. Your thought on storytelling is so key, because this is how, if you're not super extroverted, how if you're not like, great behind the camera and super wild and kind of entertaining, how you can still be entertaining is through great storytelling, for sure. And I love that you mentioned that. Thank you. Matt's voice is a little off, so I don't want to feel like he's left out. But
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try. What struck me, in addition to what you have said, Mindy and Jillian, is that her entire energy was just very soothing. It was like a quiet confidence and a quiet sort of authority. It wasn't pushy. It wasn't salesy, right? It was just, I have so much experience. I believe so much in what I'm doing. And a very gentle but refreshing approach to building that narrative just struck me as like, wow, if I needed that service compared to other people that might be doing something similar, I feel safe in her presence.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you. In chat, obviously, you're welcome to share your thoughts as well. Have a lot of people congratulating Trudy and confirming a lot of the same points that we are making too. So why don't we move on to our 4th place winner today, and let's keep this party rolling. So I'm going to go to the speaker view. I'm going to pin my video, and then we'll be ready to go. So here we go. 3, 2, and...
Hi, I'm Karen Kilby Clark, the co-founder of Mixed Media Pros. We help overwhelmed entrepreneurs break free of the business model that's not serving them, and to design a business that fits around their lifestyle versus trying to fit their lifestyle around their business. We do that primarily with our business consulting and done-for-you services, where we build gorgeous, high-converting funnels for these entrepreneurs that allows them to have more freedom, to have a bigger impact. And that is the mission. I believe that entrepreneurship, it empowers, it inspires. And so helping entrepreneurs grow their personal economy and to make the impact that they're here to make is really what we're all about. You can learn more at mixedmediapros.com, where you can sign up for a free 15-minute discovery call to see if our services are right for you.
Very cool. Congratulations, Karen. Well done. Well done. Can y'all see my video? I think it may have frozen.
Yeah, unfortunately not, Pat.
Karen.
Okay, that's okay. Well, let's go here for now.
There we are.
Hey, we're back.
I'll bring it back to Ecamm in just a moment. But Karen, well done. She happens to be in the chat right now.
Yay!
Congrats, Karen.
One thing I really love is, you only have 60 seconds, right? And oftentimes we hear this thing called like an elevator pitch, where you might have even a shorter period of time. And I love when entrepreneurs think of like really good phrases that are short, but sum up the entire thing, right? Like when she said, we're here to help you fit your business into your life, not your life into your business. And when she said that like really connected with me. And I love thinking of little phrases to do that. Like, for example, I always say, when I try to teach people, it's all about serving first, right? Like it's that short, serve first. Or this idea that, your earnings are a byproduct of how well you serve your audience. And you all hear me say that all the time. This is like, you become known for those kinds of phrases. And I really love that. That stood out to me. What else stood out to you? Maybe Jillian, we could start with you if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I agree again. I thought, so the copy and then delivery were just like first class situation. The sayings, I felt like watching it, Karen comes across so just like confident and is talking at a pace, at a rate that also exudes this confidence that I really was impressed by. I'm not sure I could do that in this situation. But also I just very, very quickly understood what the problem was, what the solution was, like what we were talking about. And I wanted to hear more. It was just very, very tight copy, which is huge when you have 60 seconds to explain your business to somebody, like to be able to just iterate it on that level. I would have signed up right then at that moment, talking like, tell me more, sign me up. How do I do it?
For sure. And I think that level of confidence in her business and what she does for people was there too, similar to Trudy. And that confidence is really key. Even like, if you are not coming across confident, why in the world would somebody be confident in your services, right? And this is, I think, a theme that you'll see throughout all of our places and honorable mentions here today. Mindy, any thoughts as well?
Just in addition to that, she just feels really warm. Just I liked her watching that. I wanted to spend time with her. I really liked it. Also too, and maybe this is silly, but I liked her framing of like her video framing of her background was relatively
really
simple.
nice.
There was a little bit of something going on one side, not the other. Like it's not nearly as busy as like what I've got going on behind me, which could be distracting of like, ooh, I want to see what are the things behind her. Like she chose the right spot in her home or wherever, her office, to record that.
Yeah, I agree with that. She's saying here in the chat that she was so nervous, and that was actually her first take, and she just.
I remember reading that in her post that she said that she knew she would end up re-recording it so many times that she was like, I'm going to do it in one take.
That was great.
That's so true. Sometimes you just got to go, you know what? I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to put it out
away.
There. And sometimes you get in your own head. So well done. Congratulations. All of the people who are going to be mentioned today, all 7, 5 plus 2 honorable mentions, will be receiving a signed copy of my book, Superfans, as a thank you for, and honestly, I wish we could just give one to everybody who participated because it was so amazing. But anyway, recognition for your brand, a congrats to you. And of course, the first place winner gets a special spot on the Smart Passive Income podcast in January, which is going to be huge. I mean, we often get over 100,000 people listening to that single episode. So we're really excited about that opportunity. So one take, beast mode, says Vanessa. Yeah. Well done. Any additional thoughts from your end, Matt?
Love and +1, everyone else so far. I just think that much like Trudy from the first video, there was just a lot of hope and optimism that kind of rang through. So really kind of resonated with that sentiment.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Jillian, might you want to share Karen's?
I might. So Karen spells her name beautifully, so I want to make sure everyone gets this, but it's KarenKilbyClark.com. Karen is CARIN, and then Kilby's with a K, and then Clark with a C.com.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Get ready for some 15-minute calls, Karen.
Right. Let me head over to Ecamm. Hopefully Ecamm's working. If not, that's okay, because I have a backup. All right. So we're going to move on to our third place winner today. And we're going to play this video. I'm going to pop it up actually on YouTube this time. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be just a straight video, but I'm going to go to speaker view. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share not that desktop, because then that would reveal all the winners. I don't want to do that. We're going to go here, share. You might see an infinite screen really quick, and then we're going to go over here, copy. One sec. Sorry.
That's fun to see.
Here we go.
Do you feel confused and overwhelmed about how to survive and thrive in the adult world? Have you ever encountered a basic life skill that seemed obvious until you had to do it for the first time? My name is Dr. Laura Jaggett, and I created a brand called How to Life that provides the answers to your burning how to life questions in short, easy video tutorials that I call Mominars. I also have a podcast that features a weekly dose of instruction, insight, and inspiration, all designed to help take the fear out of adulting. It is my goal to help you out and to cheer you on along the way. Go to howtolife.com and check out all the Mominars and podcast episodes. There are also links so that you can subscribe directly to the podcast platforms and my YouTube channel. I've got you covered. And don't worry, soon you too will be lifing like an official adult.
All right. Excellent. So congratulations, Dr. Laura, on your third place finish. Well done. First of all, I wanted to try and even out as much as possible the playing field, but you just can't help but love the way some videos look, right? We talked about Karen and her framing and just like the white background. It was really, everything was popping on that screen. Dr. Laura's was you could see that sort of bokeh effect on the camera where it's a little blurry in the background. I don't know. It just has a different tone in that way. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to control everything, or else I would give the same camera to everybody. But you know what I mean. But honestly, it felt like she knew exactly who she was speaking to. Like you could even see it in her eyes. Like she knew who her target audience was. And one easy way to start a pitch, just like what Dr. Laura did, was to ask questions. Hey, have you ever blank? Or are you somebody who's ever blanked? Then it's an easy way to have people go, yeah, that's me. And if you can clearly understand who it is you're targeting and you know that they're going to say yes, then that's good. The worry with that is you might say, hey, have you ever done this? And if they go, well, not really, well, then it's kind of all for nothing at that point. So you got to be careful when you use that strategy. But I really love Dr. Laura, really great video. And yeah, any other comments about Dr. Laura's video? Very clear pitch.
Yeah, her charisma was outstanding. Just again, a lot of confidence, but not being pushy or anything like that. But also, just to say it, like the subject matter, it was like spot on. Especially this year, and for me and my wife in particular, like we're young parents. Our daughter is 19 months, so just like this whole kind of theme of, just being a better adult, a better even parent, sort of tangentially was how like I was receiving some of that message. Like it was like speaking to me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And,
Jillian?
Yeah, so I subscribed to her YouTube channel, I think like a week or so ago, after a meetup when she was talking about it. And it's one of those things too, where like, I know the things that she's talking about, but I can put myself back in that place too, yeah, of not knowing how to do these things and just being so grateful to have somebody answer those questions that I find it really, really enjoyable. I don't know. I really like the topic. It's very good.
For sure. Jillian?
Yeah, I would say like so she's hosting Mominars, like her whole branding is just really good for what Dr. Laura is providing. And when you looked at kind of what you were saying, like the background and all that, like I see her and I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. Look at her house. She's put together, like the branding is just so in line. Yeah. I mean, you'd never know I'm a mom, but it looks so good. And then same with Mindy. I was on that same meetup and I went to her YouTube, and a lot of the videos, they're just well done. They're simple. And sure, I watched a video on how to clean dishes, which I know how to do, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. She has a mastery of teaching you things in a fun, easy way. But just focusing on this video in particular, I think, that also comes across very well. It's that confidence. And again, I just think her brand is so strong. So congratulations, Dr. Laura.
Agreed. Yeah. Congratulations, Dr. Laura. Awesome. So we have 2 more videos, second place and a first place, plus 2 honorable mentions. So we're going to do the second place video next. And so I'm going to pop this up on the screen here. And again, thank you to everybody who submitted. This was a really, really tough thing for everybody in the community to vote for. We heard it in the comments, like, how can I vote for anybody? Because everybody did so well. And everybody is a winner. This is outside of most people's comfort zones. And I think I got a private message from somebody who said, this forced me to think about the language I use when I share my brand. Thank you. And it can be tough sometimes, but sometimes we need that a little bit of encouragement and accountability. And that's kind of what SPI Pro is for. And you need to find people to help you hold yourself accountable to a lot of these things to grow. So let's share the screen again. And I'm going to pop in the second place video right now. Oh,
Do you feel confused and overwhelmed about how to survive and thrive in the adult world?
That one already.
Have you ever? Do you
Dr. Laura's?
We like
Dr. Laura's website. We do. Dr. Laura's website is howtolife.com. I apologize for not saying that earlier.
Thank you. No worries.
6 years ago, my wife walked out on me. And when she did, it left me broken emotionally, but also flat broke financially. I had to quickly figure out a way how to earn an extra income for my 3 little girls. So without any experience, I started a web design side hustle. And within 18 months, I was actually able to double the income of my full-time job. I've taken everything that I've learned from building a successful web design side hustle, and I've put it into a course that I call the Web Designer Starter Kit course. I want to help you figure out how to earn an extra income from a web design side hustle so that you can thrive financially and don't have to live paycheck to paycheck like I was. This is a 4-video course that is 100% for free. Over 2,000 people have gone through this course, skipped the learning curve, and gone straight to the results. And you can too. Go to selfmadewebdesigner.com and sign up today.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done, Chris.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Somebody in the chat here said, wow, this guy pulled the heartstrings immediately, said Garrett. And I agree. In many cases, although we often try to kind of not focus on ourselves so much, sometimes focusing on the tough parts allows us to connect with our audience even more. And with only 60 seconds, half of his pitch was about himself. And if you were to show me that on paper, I'd be like, that's a little bit too much. But he told a story that had us pulled in and helped us kind of go on this quick little journey with him, just like the hero's journey, right? The hero's journey is you start in one place, then all of a sudden you go through this tough challenge. You have to fight a bunch of demons, slay a bunch of creatures, and then come back on the other end much better. And we got that within 30 seconds. And now we want to be in this story too. We want to live that same hero's journey. And guess what? He has this free offer. And that's like, wow, that was really, really amazing. And you could even hear it in the tone of his voice, just how kind of real this felt. The other part I loved about this was the social proof aspect. 2,000 people have already gone through this and have gotten the results, have learned much more quickly. If this is something you need, like, how can you help but join and sign up? It's just so clear. Well done, Chris. Jillian, might you want to start with any comments about Chris's? Chris's was awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. Chris mentioned it, but the website is selfmadewebdesigner.com. I agree. The storytelling was just excellent. That thought through process of, setting up the problem, but in such a way that was so interesting, you were immediately intrigued. And then transitioning to the social proof part, I thought that was really interesting, and I think a very good strategy. I also just wanted to say, I thought Chris, within his story, what he's talking about, and then like the look he has, like it all went together. So the branding was great. I was like, totally, this is like a dad who, and like has this curated office. It just all worked really well for me. So good job, Chris. I thought that was a great video.
Yeah, well done, Chris. Mindy, any thoughts?
I just really liked that I thought it was a good way to do something that wasn't super positive. The results are positive. It gets you to a positive place, but it doesn't start that way. And I think that was executed very well. Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard to do. That's really difficult to do, to come across that way. Because sometimes when you use this strategy of like a heartfelt story, sometimes it can come across as more of like a woe is me, come support me
right
thing, but it didn't feel like that at all. And I think Chris executed it perfectly.
Yeah, to build on Mindy's quickly, like the transformation potential was so clear, right? And so exact. And I think that contributed to yeah, the effectiveness, of it overall. And certainly the specifics, Pat, like you mentioned, 2,000 people going through it, 4-part video series for free. And again, with that transformational component, he really illustrated that in a lot of skills, especially web design skills, there is this learning curve that can be daunting. So to even address that on the nose and say, you're going to go through that curve, but it's going to go faster and you're going to get to the results. It was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely excellent. The juxtaposition of before and after, which we see all the time in infomercials, right? Why? Because it works. And sometimes we entrepreneurs online don't really focus on the before picture and the after picture. It's not necessarily 2 pictures side by side, like on a weight loss video or something, but we need the equivalent. And I think Chris brought that here with the storytelling. It was just beautifully done. Congrats, Chris. Well done. I hope that you use that video on a landing page for this course, by the way. Please, everybody who submits uses their asset that they now have to better their business. And I fully expect that from you, Chris, for sure, because it would behoove you to do that. I'd be flabbergasted if you did not. Anyway, so we have a first place winner, but first I want to share a couple honorable mentions. We'll spend a little bit less time chatting about the ins and outs, but I think it'll be very clear why we like these, and we can share a thought or two each about each of these. So let me actually grab the real link this time, because last time we played Dr. Laura. What if this pulled up Dr. Laura again? That'd be funny. But I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll get into our first honorable mention. This was selected from Team SPI. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
This is from Team SPI.
These are ones we really liked.
Yes, indeed. So here we go.
Have you noticed the huge variety of board games coming to stores lately? Do you ever wonder where all these games come from? Many game creators are independent designers who license their ideas, and they need help testing their games before they can bring them to market. That's where Protospiel comes in. It's a network of conventions where designers, gamers, and publishers get together to playtest new games. I'm Heather Newton, lead organizer for Protospiel Online. My team and I have developed a way to playtest online to keep our community connected through the pandemic. We've also been able to welcome a lot of new people who couldn't afford to travel to in-person events in the past. In today's world, it's easy to feel lonely and sometimes even hopeless. We all need positive human interaction to help keep our spirits up. Board games are a great way to build community. The right game can help any group find common ground through structured play. So visit protospiel.online to grab your badge for our next event and help shape the games of the future.
Yay. No, we don't want to watch PewDiePie. Okay.
Can I talk about her framing? Can I talk about her framing really quick though?
You go first.
Because, okay, so first of all, her backdrop is perfect. It's absolutely related. And then she's wearing a t-shirt for the thing. And then right over her shoulder was a board game called Pandemic Legacy.
Oh, was there? I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know
that was so great. I just right over her shoulder, like the word pandemic. It was perfect.
We're playing it. Yeah.
I love it. The thing that stood out to me from Heather's was it's not an easy thing to grasp, this world of gaming and board games and how this all works. So in some cases, you're going to have to educate your audience a little bit before you can even pitch. And she did that beautifully up front, telling us kind of how the gaming world worked, and then the fact that this is now online for us to connect, and then at the end, sharing the bigger mission, not feeling lonely. I thought it was a really interesting business model, but something I didn't know about. So if she didn't tell me a little bit about the background of this space, I would have been a little confused. And I thought she kind of taught the educational component of that really nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the messaging was so timely because we're in this situation right now with an actual pandemic, and the connection, the human connection of that games bring to each other. But yeah, I was especially interested in the kind of how does this work piece of it, because how does this work? How do board games, is it we're past the Milton Bradley era in many ways. So how does this work? And then I went and looked at the website after because I was so interested, and ooh, I get a badge and go to a conference or, an online event. This is all very interesting. It definitely left me wanting more information.
This is the one I sent to a friend because I was like, you need this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. What's the business name, Jillian, and website?
It is Yes, thank you. It is protospiel.online.
Protospiel. Nice. Awesome. Well, well done, Heather. Thank you for that. And the one thing I will say is that your sound was a little bit low. So just for future, let's raise that volume up. We need to hear everything that you say clearly because everything you have to say is awesome. So, okay, cool. Let's move on to our second honorable mention. And I'm really excited to share this with you. Let me go to speaker view, share screen, and I'm going to pop this person into YouTube right now.
So, you want to start photo or video, but the problem is it seems like a lot of experts, whether professional or not, had to spend thousands of dollars on equipment and perhaps much more on education. But this doesn't have to be the case for you whether you intend to go professional or not. There are tons of free resources online where you can learn all that same knowledge. One of those resources is Anything Cameras. Here at Anything Cameras, we believe that anyone can enter these arts with nothing but a little bit of creativity. Whether you want to take better photos of your dog, make awesome YouTube videos, or anything else, we want to help you do that. But who am I and who is Anything Cameras? Well, my name is Noah. I'm a professional photographer. I've been doing photo and video for almost 7 years now. And I started Anything Cameras because I grew to love taking photos and videos so much that I wanted to begin providing all of you with all the knowledge I've learned through these amazing years of photo and video so that you can enjoy it as much as I can. And go ahead and look at some of our content. I hope it helps you take awesome photos and videos.
All right. Noah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Noah says his heart rate is about 130 right now. Noah is a frequent visitor in our morning show, The Income Stream. For those of you who don't know what that is, I've been going live on YouTube for 226 days straight, and Noah's been in way more than half of them for sure. We've come to know Noah very well, so I was very proud to see that the rest of Team SPI also considered Noah's stuff really well, really good. And there's a lot of things to point out in this video. Obviously, if you're talking about cameras, you have to have some good camera quality, and he definitely brought that. Obviously, he had this really nice soft tone to the pitch. The other interesting thing that I noticed that Noah's video is the only one so far that has what's called jump cuts. Jump cuts are essentially a style of video where you go from like one sentence and then all of a sudden it's not a smooth one take. It goes into the next point and then it goes into the next point. And especially online, those kinds of videos actually increase engagement. There's a lot to say with like how quickly you move from one point to the next. It's almost like keeping you on edge. And I think for the purpose of this video, which is perhaps for your YouTube channel or for a website, Noah, I know you also sell an online course. I think that's perfect. And if you want to know how to create a jump cut video, it's very simple. And it's actually easier to record than doing what everybody else is doing, which is one take. You hit record on your camera and you just talk. You might have some bullet points or things and you make all the mistakes that you want. Because in editing, that's when you take all the mistakes out and you just put all the cuts that are good together. And it creates this beautiful sort of interesting style. And it keeps you on edge. So I really loved how you did that. And it just helps us who aren't good at doing one takes like everybody else here. And so, yeah, just a piece of info for you. But Noah, well.
Can I ask a technical question about that?
Sure.
With jump cuts and because I've tried to do some of that style of editing before, and is it really important that you sort of stay very like centered so you're not?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Not necessarily. And in fact, there are even ways to cover up the jump. You might have some B-roll play or an image play, or you can zoom in until the next cut and boom, you zoom out and you don't even really notice anything.
Okay.
No, it's not that important for you. I mean, if you're jumping to left to right side every 2 seconds, then yeah, obviously it's going to be a little distracting, but no, not at all. But yeah, well done, Noah. I love the pitch so much. I love how in the middle you introduced yourself after talking about who this is for and why. Like, hey, you want to film great videos for YouTube or even just take pictures of your dog? It doesn't matter. I'm here to help you. And I loved how you sort of covered all those bases there. Jillian, Matt, any other comments for Noah?
He would just really express his joy for the work. Like he clearly loves this stuff, right? And he knows it's really important for those that he's serving, and it came out like in spades. So that was excellent.
Cool, nice.
Yeah. Well, and in case anyone didn't notice, like Noah's young. Noah's a teenager. I'm pretty sure, Noah, you can say you're in the chat, but I'm pretty sure you're still in high school. And so like the level of just, the storytelling, the branding, the subtle things like the, social proof of the background and like the quality camera, the really well done jump cuts, all of that stuff, which let's be honest, I didn't know it was called a jump cut until Pat just said it. So I'm just like rolling with it. Like, yeah, jump cut, B-roll, fun words. But the fact, like, it was all just so put together, and I'm just like, when I was that age, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I'm just continually impressed with Noah's, just like I think it's the fearlessness to be like, I love cameras. As Pat was saying, like, you can see the passion, but to even join pro community, like that wouldn't have been on my radar either. But to do that, to produce, the video did such a good job of explaining his YouTube, which that is where to find Noah is anything cameras on YouTube. But also just, and this doesn't have to do so much with the competition, but just in general, Noah in pro is just such a shining light. He's so helpful. He's helping people all the time with camera stuff. He's like our AV squad, and it's so great. So I'm really happy for you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah. And Noah is 16. He confirmed, still in high school in the chat here. So, dude, like honestly,
good for you, Noah.
If I had that kind of number one passion and focus, and even like willing to invest in myself at that age, my gosh, like I sometimes just wonder what the heck was I doing? I was playing Quake 2 all day, and that's it. So anyway. Well done, Noah.
You did okay.
Eventually, things worked out, but who knows? But anyway, well done. So I don't know. I don't have a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll sound effect, but I do have high five for all the contestants out there. Well done. We're about to share our number one top voted video and pitch in the October 2020 Smart Tank Challenge, our first ever. And I got to tell you, we've already talked about this. We're going to do this again next year. Maybe exactly a year from now, maybe sooner, but we've had so much fun. Most of all, seeing everybody step up and share each of themselves in the community. I mean, honestly, I've gotten to know so much of you even better just through a 60-second pitch. And it's just, I feel that much more connected to you. So definitely a call to everybody here, whether you're an SPI Pro or not, to, again, step out of your comfort zone, find other people who could be there to support you. This community here on YouTube, the SPI Pro community, we're all here to support each other. Thanks again. And I'm very, very excited to share this number one video. We'll talk about it for a few minutes, and then we'll wrap exactly probably 45 minutes into this. We'll probably stick around a little bit longer, but this has been really cool. So much fun. I'm just so stoked with how this challenge went. And I'm going to go full screen now. And I'm going to share the number one voted video in SPI Pro, the top pitch. And while you're watching this, see if you can pick out why you might think this was the top viewed video.
Okay, raise your hand if you have ever killed a houseplant before. Well, I am going to be your new best plant friend because I'm the plant killer turned plant lady behind the Bloom and Grow Radio podcast, a plant care podcast designed to help everyone successfully care for plants, no matter how many plants you might have killed in your past. No judgment here. Through my show, I want to help you feel empowered to successfully care for plants, but more importantly, I want to help you use plants as tools to disconnect from screens and reconnect with yourself. Plants really teach us patience, empathy, and kindness. And I believe if we can practice those skills on plants, we can then take those skills into the world and make it a kinder and greener place. So if you don't know where to start, take my free Plant Parent Personality Test. It pairs you with a list of specially curated plants and podcasts to set you up for success. You can find it at bloomandgrowradio.com/personality. And I cannot wait to help you keep blooming and keep growing.
Yes.
All right.
Congratulations. That is, of course, none other than Bloom and Grow Radio from Maria. And honestly, just energy right from the start, right? Like just full on. And you don't even know what to think other than just, I got to keep listening to this thing, right? It's like one of the best things you could do in a pitch is to get people to stop thinking about whether or not they should listen to the pitch or not and just connect, right? You want to bring them in that moment. And immediately, what did she do? Raise your hand if you've ever killed a houseplant, right? And I'm like, if I had more hands, I would, right? I'm more of an outdoor gardener, but, well, now I am. But then you're in, right? Because, and then just, there were so many, just the energy, the connection to like the bigger why. And then her call to action was so clear in terms of what you get and where to go and get it. Like that was probably the clearest call to action out of everybody. And for a podcast too, like, you know that you want to listen to the show once you even just hear her for 60 seconds. It was beautiful. Like, well done, Maria. Congratulations. Mindy, any thoughts on Maria?
Yeah, I sent this one to my husband and said, you should listen to this because he is our houseplant steward here. But especially, yeah, I really like the raise your hand part, to make me participate in this one-sided interaction is really great. I really enjoyed it. And again, framing like behind her, you know, where all of these house plants, you know,
pretty.
so I know that she practices what she's talking about because I can see the evidence behind her. Just kind of the nonverbal stuff is really great.
For sure. Jillian, any thoughts?
Of course. I love Maria's
You clearly
video.
like houseplants. See behind you.
I know, Maria and I have talked about them. I think it's a new member meetup. I was like, oh, plants? I guess I'll show the internet, but as we were getting ready for this, I was like, I have a dead houseplant right here. It's too close to the window. Oops. It was just so relatable and refreshing in a way. Like, you got that hook immediately of like, raise your hand if, because who hasn't, right? In some way, if they're living plants anyways. We've all had I love the stories about people watering plastic plants for months before they realize they're plastic.
That used to happen at my old job on a regular basis. A new round of
so
interns
funny.
would come in and they would
Trying to be
water
good.
the plastic plants.
That's so funny. But it's just so relatable because it is like such a common thing. And I think a lot of us will go into, especially again, in these times where you're home a lot and you're like, hey, I want some more greenery around me. Where I live, where it's winter most of the year, like it's nice having living things around you. So yeah, it's just so relatable, but also in a like, it's not just like I'm an expert and you're doing it all wrong. It's like, I've done it too. I've figured out, let me help you with what I've learned.
Yeah, I
love the
hand
plant.
too. Like, she raised her own, right?
Yeah, she has a great stage presence, which I know because I wanted to know more and I looked at her website and saw that, I believe, and I don't know if she's in the chat, but she's on Broadway. No big deal. Wow. I also like that she talks with her hands, because if you haven't noticed, so do I.
Wow.
A lot.
And that's not something you have to be born with either. That's something that I'm not Broadway, by the way, but I'm saying, like, in terms of being able to get on camera and express myself and want to help others, like that's something that comes with time for some and practice. And the more you do this kind of thing, like, I guarantee everybody who submitted a video, if you were to do another video about something else, you're going to be already that much more ahead because you had practice. And so keep practicing, keep putting yourself out there. For those of you in the chat who want to practice on your own, you don't have to share it. You don't have to do it, but just the act of getting in front of the camera just allows you to get better and better over time. And just so many great things about Maria's video. Matt, any comments on your end?
All of those things yet again. And then also the brilliance with which she transfers like this skill of taking care of the plants to the applicability in life with relationships, with almost anything, right? I thought was genius. I think it's true. I think it's very necessary. It's an amazing thing to accentuate. It's not like a gimmick. So to connect that dot for us was just perfect.
True. The idea that if you could better take care of your plants, you'll also be able to take care of other parts of your life and yourself. And I think that's really, really cool. That's really cool. Wow. So congratulations, Maria. You have earned a spot on the Smart Passive Income podcast at the end of January 2021. And I'm going to dig into this Broadway story a little bit because I want to know more.
I hope I got it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so cool. So congratulations to all the winners, all 7 videos that were played today. All of you will be receiving a signed copy of Superfans plus some other things that might be in the same package. We'll see. But this was so fun. What was Maria's site one more time for everybody who wants to go and check it out in her podcast?
It is, for sure. It's bloomandgrowradio.com, and that same name for her podcast.
Bloom and Grow Radio. Awesome. Let's see. that's the end of just, wow. We did it. We did it. Congratulations to everybody. And again, even if you didn't get selected today to be shared, you are still a winner. I promise you. You are now more connected in SPI Pro. You have the ability to now step out of your comfort zone and film. And I just want to keep encouraging you to do that. And we'll keep encouraging you and pushing you within SPI Pro. And a really quick pitch for SPI Pro here. It's been our favorite thing that we've launched this year to bring a community together. Jillian is leading the charge there with the community experience. And there's just so many bits and pieces of it. It's not a place to come in and get content. It's a place to come in and get connected and to find things that you might need help with. We've had so much growth within the community already, and there's a lot of great people that you can meet. And I know networking is hard this year. And this is why although we had plans to launch this next year, we pulled it ahead and launched it this year and made it even better. And just super thankful for everybody who has been in architecting that, from Matt and Jillian, Mindy here, obviously, and the rest of the team, Karen, SJ, Jay, everybody has had a major impact on this. Big thanks to all the members. And if you want to go out and check out SPI Pro, if you go to smartpassiveincome.com/pro, you can apply. We'll be letting people in about once a quarter. And we're going to be focusing on the group members that are there and then letting another crowd of people in a few moments here and there during the year. So smartpassiveincome.com/pro if you would like to apply. We would love to see you there. And again, it's not for everybody. You'll see very clearly whether it's not for you, because hopefully you can tell we worked on our pitches too. And we're just, again, really, really thrilled and excited for everybody. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. Congratulations to every single winner here: Trudy, Karen, Dr. Laura, Chris, Heather, Noah, and of course our first place winner, Maria. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Team Flynn. This has been wonderful, and we're going to sign off. And if you'd like to share this so other people can get inspired too, guess what? It's going to live forever on YouTube. So you'll be able to take the link and share it. Any departing words, Jillian, Matt, or Mindy?
Thank you, pros. They were all amazing. So amazing.
Epic.
Yeah, keep believing in yourselves and doing the work. It's working and it shows.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. And we'll see you around. Office hours for SPI students is tomorrow. And I'll see you on the income stream at 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow morning. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
High five.